Hey, welcome back to the show. Today, we are unpacking the latest financial results from a big name in the convenience and delivery space, Swiggy. This should be a really insightful one, given all the buzz around the sector.
Absolutely. Swiggy Limited, which many will know was formerly Swiggy Private Limited and Bundle Technologies Private Limited, is a major player. They're India's pioneering on-demand convenience platform, heavily into food delivery, quick commerce with Instamart, and even out-of-home consumption through Dineout. They also have subsidiaries like Scootzy Logistics and Links Logistics. It's quite a diverse operation.
Right. So they've released their audited financial results for the quarter and full financial year ended March 31st, 2025. This would be Q4 FY25 and the full fiscal year 25. The board approved these results on May 9th, 2025. We'll be looking at both their consolidated and standalone performance today.
That's correct. And it's worth noting that during this fiscal year, Swiggy also completed its initial public offering or IPO, and its shares are now listed on the National Stock Exchange and BSE Limited.
A very significant milestone for them. The numbers everyone's keen on. How did Swiggy perform on the revenue front for the fourth quarter? Looking at the consolidated figures first.
For the quarter ended March 31st, 2025, that's Q4 FY25. Swiggy's consolidated revenue from operations stood at 4,410.019 crore rupees. Comparing this year over year, it's a strong growth from the 3,045.548 crore rupees they reported in Q4 of FY24. That's an increase of about 44.8%.
That's a pretty substantial jump year over year for Q4. Now, how does that compare to the immediately preceding quarter, Q3 of FY25? What's the quarter-over-quarter performance?
Good question. Quarter over quarter, the revenue from operations of 4,410.019 crore rupees in Q4 is up from 3,993.069 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So that's a sequential growth of about 10.4%. So healthy growth both year over year and quarter over quarter for the consolidated top line.
Okay, strong revenue growth. Now let's move to profitability. The shareholder letter mentions an adjusted EBITDA. What are those figures for the consolidated business in Q4?
Right. The shareholder letter provides figures for consolidated adjusted EBITDA. For Q4 FY25, the consolidated adjusted EBITDA loss was 732 crore rupees. This is an increased loss compared to Q4 FY24, where the adjusted EBITDA loss was 361 crore rupees.
An increased loss year over year for Q4 adjusted EBITDA. What about the sequential quarter over quarter trend for adjusted EBITDA?
Sequentially, the adjusted EBITDA loss of 732 crore rupees in Q4 FY25 is also higher than the loss of 490 crore rupees reported in Q3 FY25. So the losses on this adjusted metric have widened both year over year and quarter over quarter. The company attributes this to significant growth investments, particularly in quick commerce.
Understood. Now let's look at profit before tax or PBT from the financial statements for the consolidated entity in Q4.
For Q4 FY25, the consolidated loss before tax was 1,081.182 crore rupees. This is a larger loss compared to Q4 FY24, which saw a loss before tax of 554.771 crore rupees.
And the quarter-over-quarter picture for consolidated PBT?
Sequentially, the loss before tax of 1,081.182 crore rupees in Q4 is also higher than the loss before tax of 799.080 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So similar to the adjusted EBITDA, the reported PBT losses have also increased.
Okay, following from PBT, what about profit after tax or PAT for consolidated Q4?
Since there was no tax expense reported for the quarter, the consolidated loss after tax for Q4 FY25 is the same as the PBT, which is a loss of 1,081.182 crore rupees. This compares to a loss after tax of 554.771 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And quarter over quarter for consolidated PAT?
Again, the loss after tax of 1,081.182 crore rupees in Q4 is up from the loss after tax of 799.080 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
And this translates to what earnings per share or EPS on a consolidated basis for Q4?
The consolidated basic loss per share for Q4 FY25 was 4.60 rupees. The financial statements for Q4 FY24 don't provide a direct quarterly EPS, but for Q3 FY25, the basic loss per share was 3.48 rupees. So the loss per share has increased sequentially.
How about other income for the consolidated business in Q4? Was it significant?
Yes, other income for Q4 FY25 on a consolidated basis was 120.694 crore rupees. This is up year over year from 97.696 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. Sequentially, it's also up from 102.767 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
Okay, that covers the quarterly consolidated picture. Now, let's shift to the full financial year FY25 performance for consolidated Swiggy. What did the revenue look like for the full year?
For the full financial year ended March 31st, 2025, Swiggy's consolidated revenue from operations was 15,226.755 crore rupees. This is a strong increase of about 35.4% from the 11,247.390 crore rupees reported in FY24.
And the consolidated adjusted EBITDA for the full year FY25?
The shareholder letter indicates that for FY25, the B2C adjusted EBITDA margins improved by 103 basis points versus FY24. The overall consolidated adjusted EBITDA loss for FY25, derived from the reconciliation in the shareholder letter, sums up to 1,911 crore rupees.
What about the full year consolidated profit before tax and profit after tax for FY25?
For FY25, the consolidated loss before tax was 3,116.799 crore rupees. This is a larger loss compared to the 2,350.243 crore rupees loss before tax in FY24. And again, with no tax, the loss after tax for FY25 is also 3,116.799 crore rupees compared to a loss of 2,350.243 crore rupees in FY24.
And the full year consolidated EPS for FY25?
The consolidated basic loss per share for FY25 was 13.72 rupees compared to a loss per share of 10.70 rupees in FY24. So the annual loss per share has also increased.
Now let's switch gears to the standalone financials. Can you walk us through Swiggy's standalone revenue from operations for Q4 FY25 and its year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter performance?
Certainly. For Q4 FY25, Swiggy's standalone revenue from operations was 2,399.631 crore rupees. Year-over-year, this is up significantly by about 35.2% from the 1,775.150 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And how does that standalone Q4 revenue look quarter-over-quarter compared to Q3 FY25?
Quarter-over-quarter, the standalone revenue of 2,399.631 crore rupees in Q4 is up from 2,297.819 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. That's a sequential growth of about 4.4% for the standalone entity.
Okay, for standalone profitability, since adjusted EBITDA isn't provided directly, let's use PBT as a proxy. What was the standalone PBT for Q4 FY25?
The standalone loss before tax for Q4 FY25 was 927.449 crore rupees. This is a larger loss compared to Q4 FY24, which had a loss before tax of 515.424 crore rupees.
And the sequential trend for standalone PBT from Q3 to Q4?
Sequentially, the standalone loss before tax of 927.449 crore rupees in Q4 is also significantly higher than the loss before tax of 625.880 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
And following that, the standalone profit after tax for Q4?
Similar to the consolidated side with no tax expense, the standalone loss after tax for Q4 FY25 is 927.449 crore rupees. This compares to a standalone loss after tax of 515.424 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
Quarter-over-quarter for standalone PAT?
The standalone loss after tax of 927.449 crore rupees in Q4 increased from the loss after tax of 625.880 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
What about the standalone EPS for Q4?
The standalone basic loss per share for Q4 FY25 was 3.95 rupees. This compares to a basic loss per share of 2.73 rupees in Q3 FY25 and 2.35 rupees in Q4 FY24. So the loss per share has widened both year over year and quarter over quarter for the standalone entity in the fourth quarter.
And standalone other income for Q4?
Standalone other income for Q4 FY25 was 160.599 crore rupees. This is fairly stable compared to Q4 FY24's 161.348 crore rupees. Sequentially, it's also very close to Q3 FY25's 160.781 crore rupees.
Now, for the full financial year FY25 on a standalone basis, what are the key figures?
For the full year FY25, standalone revenue from operations was 8,796.480 crore rupees, up by about 38% from 6,372.298 crore rupees in FY24. The standalone loss before tax for FY25 was 2,541.671 crore rupees, larger than the 1,888.032 crore rupees loss in FY24. Consequently, the loss after tax was also 2,541.671 crore rupees for FY25. The standalone basic loss per share for FY25 was 11.19 rupees compared to a loss of 8.60 rupees in FY24.
Thanks for that detailed breakdown of both consolidated and standalone numbers. Now looking at profitability more broadly, the shareholder letter mentioned adjusted EBITDA for different segments. What does that tell us?
Yes, for Q4 FY25, the food delivery segment reported an adjusted EBITDA of 212 crore rupees, with a margin of 2.9% of its gross order value, or GOV. This is a significant improvement. However, the quick commerce segment, Instamart, saw its adjusted EBITDA loss increase to 840 crore rupees, with a negative margin of 18% of its GOV. The out-of-home consumption segment reported an adjusted EBITDA of 2 crore rupees, turning profitable. So it's a mixed bag. Food delivery improving, quick commerce losses widening due to expansion, and out-of-home turning a corner.
Were there any significant exceptional items reported in Q4 or for the full year that we should be aware of?
For the consolidated P&L in Q4 FY25, exceptional items are implicitly included before arriving at the loss before tax. The specific quarterly breakout isn't separate in the annual statement, but the notes show an exceptional gain of 34.89 million rupees or 3.489 crore rupees for Q4 if we look at the difference between LBT and loss before EI. For the full year FY25, consolidated exceptional items resulted in a gain of 11.701 crore rupees. On the standalone side, for the full year FY25, exceptional items led to a gain of 43.923 crore rupees. These were mainly due to reversals of provisions or write-backs related to previous impairments or IPO expenses.
Any quick insights from the balance sheet from a consolidated or standalone perspective?
On a consolidated basis as of March 31, 2025, total equity stood at 10,219.487 crore rupees, up from 7,791.461 crore rupees a year ago, largely due to the IPO proceeds. Total assets were 15,205.318 crore rupees. A key asset is cash and cash equivalents, which on a consolidated basis stood at 1,230.568 crore rupees at year-end, with bank balances other than cash and cash equivalents at an additional 2,069.046 crore rupees. The shareholder letter mentions an overall cash balance of 6,695 crore rupees, which is based on their specific reconciliation.
How about cash flows? Any highlights there?
The consolidated cash flow statement shows that for FY25, net cash used in operating activities was a significant outflow of 2,169.472 crore rupees, which is higher than the 1,312.735 crore rupees used in FY24. Net cash used in investing activities was 1,372.442 crore rupees. The big story in financing activities was the proceeds from the fresh issue of equity shares related to the IPO, amounting to about 4,380.445 crore rupees net of transaction costs. This significantly boosted their cash position.
Now Swiggy has several business segments. How did they perform individually in Q4 FY25 on a consolidated basis in terms of revenue?
Let's look at the segment revenue from operations for Q4 FY25 after inter-segment adjustments. Food delivery 1,628.317 crore rupees. Out-of-home consumption 67.097 crore rupees. Quick Commerce, Instamart, 689.054 crore rupees. Supply Chain and Distribution, 2004.116 crore rupees. And Platform Innovations, 21.435 crore rupees.
And the profitability of these segments? The segment results before tax and interest?
For Q4 FY25, food delivery reported a profit of 220.499 crore rupees. This is a very strong performance. Out-of-home consumption also showed a profit of 2.344 crore rupees. Quick Commerce, however, had a substantial loss of 770.894 crore rupees. This aligns with the heavy investments mentioned. Supply Chain and Distribution had a loss of 51.186 crore rupees. Platform Innovations also reported a loss of 36.138 crore rupees.
So food delivery is the clear profit engine, while quick commerce is driving significant losses due to its expansion phase. How does this Q4 segment performance compare year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter?
Year-over-year for Q4, food delivery profit grew massively from 42.469 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. Quick commerce losses also widened from 272.722 crore rupees. Sequentially, food delivery profit improved from 192.715 crore rupees in Q3 FY25, while quick commerce losses increased from 527.683 crore rupees in Q3. So the trend of food delivery strengthening and quick commerce investing heavily continued in Q4.
Interesting dynamics. So summarizing the overall performance for the year and the quarter, what are your thoughts?
Year-over-year, Swiggy has shown strong revenue growth both at the consolidated and standalone levels for Q4 and for the full year FY25. However, reported losses, PBT and PAT, have also widened, particularly impacted by the significant investments in scaling up the quick commerce business. The food delivery segment is a standout, showing robust profitability improvement. The shareholder letter emphasizes that Q4 saw peak investments into quick commerce, and they expect to progressively unwind these losses.
Any significant notes or events from the reports apart from the IPO?
The company incorporated a wholly owned subsidiary, Swiggy Sports Private Limited, during the year for acquiring a franchise in the World Pickleball League. The financials also detail exceptional items, mainly related to writebacks and IPO expenses. The management commentary in the shareholder letter is quite detailed, highlighting new product launches like Snack and Ping, Bolt for faster food delivery, and Max Saver for Instamart Value. They also mentioned adding a record 316 dark stores for Instamart in Q4 alone, reaching over 1,000 stores across 124 cities. The IPO itself, with net proceeds of about 4,359 crore rupees, is a major event.
Now, a very critical part, the auditor's report. What did BSR and Company LLP have to say about both the consolidated and standalone financials?
For both the consolidated and standalone financial results for the year ended March 31, 2025, BSR and Company LLP have issued an unmodified opinion. This means they believe the financial statements give a true and fair view in all material respects.
So no qualifications or adverse opinions? That's generally good news.
That's correct. There are no qualifications or adverse opinions. For the consolidated report, they do include an other matter paragraph. This paragraph points out that the consolidated results include the group's share of net loss from an associate, amounting to 2.574 crore rupees for the year, based on unaudited financial statements provided by management. However, the auditors state that this amount is not material to the group, and their opinion is not modified in respect of this matter. This is a standard disclosure when an associate's financials aren't audited by the primary auditor and are immaterial. A similar other matter paragraph notes that the Q4 figures are balancing figures derived from full-year audited and 9-month unaudited numbers. The standalone report also has the other matter paragraph regarding the Q4 balancing figures.
So clean opinions from the auditors, which is positive. Based on all this, the numbers, segment performance, management commentary, and the auditor's view. What's the outlook for Swiggy?
Disclaimer: we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions. Swiggy is clearly in a high-growth, high-investment phase, especially with Instamart. The food delivery business is maturing well and showing strong profitability. The key will be how quickly they can turn quick commerce profitable while sustaining its rapid growth, as this segment is currently the main driver of overall losses. Management seems confident that Q4 FY25 was the peak for these investments. The IPO has provided a strong capital base. Risks include intense competition in all segments and the execution risk associated with such rapid expansion. The sustainability targets they've announced also point towards a long-term vision.
Great. So to wrap up, Swiggy's FY25 and Q4 show a company aggressively expanding its footprint, particularly in quick commerce, leading to strong top-line growth but also increased losses. The food delivery segment is a bright spot in terms of profitability, and the auditors have given clean chits to both sets of financials.
Precisely. The focus for investors will likely be on the path to profitability for the quick commerce segment and how the overall consolidated losses trend in the coming quarters now that they say peak investment is behind them. The strong cash position post-IPO gives them runway, but market expectations will be high.
Excellent analysis. Thanks for breaking down those complex numbers for us and our listeners.
My pleasure. Always interesting to dive into these reports.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out.